Hey guys, what's going on? Clint here, Dave there. We're gonna talk Star Wars.
Oh, the last trailer. The final trailer. The Force Awakens.
I know everybody has seen it, I'm sure 100 times by now, but just real quick general reactions before we get into some specific stuff.
Yes.
Man, I just keep getting more excited about this.
Yeah, this was the one. You know, I'm glad they waited this long before they really explain the characters, and there's still a lot of mystery, but man, this one felt like as Star Warsian as you can hope.
Yes, I really appreciate how they've crafted the trailers every step of the way, because we still don't really know what the main thrust of the story is going to be, you know? And the way that they've given us enough without giving us too much, I think it's really artfully done, the way that they've unpacked these trailers.
No Luke still.
No Luke still.
Luke.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're about to get into some specific thoughts that we had about the trailer. Definitely some conjecture about what that means for the final film. So if you're trying real hard to go in clean to this Star Wars thing, get out of here right now.
Yeah.
We're going to... it's sort of not spoilers.
No.
But it's what we think might happen.
Yeah.
And if it turns out to be true, then they would be retroactively spoilers.
Yeah.
So here's your spoiler warning.
So take that.
Okay, due diligence done, spoiler warning out there.
The thing about the trailer that made me most excited was the Kylo Ren stuff. Like, all the Kylo Ren First Order stuff is what's really exciting for me. Right. I love this idea of maybe he's, like, obsessed with Darth Vader. Yeah. I mean, it seems like he's giving... I know a lot of it might just be trailer editing, but it seems like he's giving, like, soliloquies to, like, you know, Darth Vader's burned-out helmet.
Like a Darth Vader altar up there or something.
Yeah. And I like the fact that, like, I was just thinking of this the other day, and this might be, like, completely stupid, which is okay, but...
That's what we're here for.
You know, like, we know that his name is Kylo Ren. We know that, like, Ren is from, like, the Knights of Ren, apparently, which is this order of, like, Sith-like guys. Mm-hmm. But, like, I was wondering the other day, like, because everyone is like, oh, is he... Luke, I'm sorry, is he Han and Leia's son? That's what kind of everyone's been wondering. Is it just as easy as, like, the name Kylo, like, he took off the S and it's, like, Skywalker plus Solo? Kylo, right?
That's where my head started going, was looking at the Kylo Ren stuff. And look, what he says is, I'm going to finish what you started.
Yeah.
And he's saying that essentially to Darth Vader in the trailer, right? So now that the Force is awakening, he is going after Luke to finish Darth Vader's mission, which was to convert Luke to the dark side. So now that the Force is awakening, he wants to get Luke, who is... And the other thing that the trailer kind of confirms is that all the Jedi and the Force mythology is kind of like fairy tale now. Yeah. Because Han is saying it's all true, you know? If Luke is like the last of the Jedi and he's all this powerful being who's kind of gone into hiding now, who's more or less legend. Mm-hmm. So him going after Luke to get him on the dark side... Right. To sort of tip the scales on the dark side now that the Force is awakening and coming back, I think is a really interesting journey for him. But the other thing that I thought was really cool is that scene where Kylo Ren is like screwing with Oscar Isaac's head. Yeah. Right? And he's like mind doing something with the Force. Mm-hmm. And then later on, when Han Solo is saying the dark side and the Jedi, it's coupled with that shot of Oscar Isaac hopping out of his X-Wing and walking past John Boyega, and then John Boyega, the camera turns around and we find John Boyega. And the energy that he's looking at Oscar Isaac with is a little off. Like, there's like a weird familiarity, but like he doesn't really recognize it. He was just like, what was that? What the hell's going on? What I think is in preparation for turning Luke to the dark side is that Kylo Ren is like dark-siding people, right?
Like converting people?
Yeah, and so at some point, I think Oscar Isaac's going to be a bad guy. And the way that some of the voiceover is coupled with some of the images... Like, I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah,
I think it's a really good idea, actually. I never thought of that. It would make sense when you just think of a lot of the roles Oscar Isaac plays tends to be heavies. Right. And so, and he's, of course, right now seems to be a hero, so that's a...
And as good as everybody is in that cast, I think he's the best of the bunch. So, so just doing a turn like that, I think he, of all the people in the movie, he's the one that can really nail it.
That's actually that's a good theory.
Hey,
I like that.
Right.
I like that
It's
a lot.
on record now, so if I get it right, I'm sorry for spoiling it, and haha, I got it right. Now, let's look at, like, pick one shot in the trailer that you're most interested in?
Well, for me, it was definitely like the Darth Vader helmet, because this idea of Kylo Ren, basically, I want to know if there's a religion basically based on Darth Vader. That's ultimately what I want to know. Is he a god? Is there another subgroup that like Luke Skywalker is somehow like, a god about? And also, is that shot that we've already seen in the other trailers of the metal hand on R2, is that Luke or is that not Luke? Because we saw that one picture of Luke for like a second before Disney took it down, but I don't know like if that was official or if that was like
that was the one where he was all done up like Obi-Wan. Like,
that's
he was
the thing.
In like full-on Jedi robes.
But
he wasn't like in tattered in hiding like the flesh is melted off my robot hand.
Right. And also not only that, it almost looked like it was like they were preparing to shoot him as a Force ghost.
Right.
Right? And that was the other thing I was wondering. I was like, is that like his final costume?
He was on a stage.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm really interested in the Han Solo stuff that we got.
Yeah.
Because he feels like Han Solo as a character is now as nostalgic about the original trilogy as we are.
Totally,
like he's looking back at it, and the energy that he has in the trailer, like he's a little down, and it sort of feels like maybe he was sort of discredited in a way, and nobody really believes him, and so now him saying it's all true and all this stuff is because there's a shot where they're walking into what looks like either a temple or something, and there's like a robot walk, and it's got all these weird flags and everything, and it might just be Harrison Ford old man walk, but there's something about his walk in that shot that's like crazy guy energy, like, come here, let me show you something, like there's something weird about Han Solo's energy in this trailer that I don't know, it's just, I feel like he seems really sad. He seems really sad. He seems really like he almost seems crazy.
It's funny because for me I felt like maybe Han and Leia have been estranged for a while, and maybe that's because like they lost their kid. But I think Kylo is their kid, and they lost Kylo somehow, and that's how they became estranged.
The other sort of tangential Han thing that we get is seeing the shot of Daisy Ridley crying over what it looks like she's crying over a body.
Exactly, totally. Yeah.
And I think it looks most like Chewie. You can see a little fur, and it's kind of brown, like it's either a leather jacket or it's Chewie. And like I really don't believe that Disney would kill Chewie.
Yeah.
First one out of the gate coming back. I do believe they would kill Han.
Yeah, I mean they're probably gonna kill Han, right? That ultimately seems like what they're gonna do.
And that's the thing about this trailer and about JJ, it's like, could this all just be misdirect? And they're like, look, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they came up with an entirely different story that they never scripted, but they're making a trailer for that story just to throw all of us off, which would be awesome.
The only reason it's not frustrating is because we're all already in. We're all already going to go see it, and so I think like there's a real Christmas morning sensation to this whole thing. Yeah. But you're right, it's like I think we all assume that Han probably is going to die, but I wonder if that's just because we all know that Harrison Ford is grumpy. Yeah. And doesn't do a lot of movies anymore.
We all know that he wanted Han to die at the end of Empire or in Return of the Jedi. Yeah. So
I agree.
I'm rooting for Han Solo to die in this movie, which is bizarre.
Well, a hero's death will be great for Han Solo. And also, that the thing is, this is the new group. I mean, obviously John Boyega in a way is in the Han mold. He's this guy who used to be kind of a bad guy, but now he's trying to be a good guy, finding his new
trying
way.
To find something to fight for again, which is some VO from the trailer.
Yeah, and Daisy Ridley's character is obviously a Skywalker. I mean, everything about her screams Skywalker, and so they have this new group that very much reflects the old one. So I think that's okay. So now I guess the big question is like everyone wants to know, is Luke Skywalker going to be like the villain ultimately of this, or is he a good guy who's hiding like Yoda?
I think Episode 7, Luke Skywalker is largely the MacGuffin.
Okay.
I think finding, and because of the rumors that we've heard about the lightsaber falling from space, and it's Anakin's original lightsaber, I think that this might as well be Star Wars, the search for Luke. I think is what this movie's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the nuts and bolts of what happens in between, whether it's Oscar Isaac sabotaging certain things, or because there's other machinations obviously happening with the New Order and the Resistance and everything like that. But largely the thrust of this movie, I think, is going to be the search for Luke.
My ultimate hope is that Poe Dameron, who is Oscar Isaac is playing, Dameron is actually his mother's name, and he's actually the son of Porkins. That's all I want.
Done.
That's it.
I don't see why that's impossible.
Make him the son of Porkins, and I'm in.
Too late! All right, guys, that's a couple of things. We got so many thoughts, and we've already ran on too long.
Yeah.
But Let us know some of your theories. What do you think? What's your favorite shot of the trailer? What's the most telling shot of the trailer? What's giving us the biggest hint about what this movie's going to be about? Let us know in the comments down below. Click like and subscribe and come back next time for more movie news and CineFix. Now, we're going to go watch the trailer again.
Yeah.
I love that they use the romance theme, too.
Yeah. I was actually most impressed by how all the themes went together.